GPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends, that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
Good morning. This is the 10th of December, the anniversary of the Declaration of Human Rights, December 10th, 1948. If you were looking for the weekly broadcast of the Ask Welfare Rights Program, you have found us. We're here. And we, today means me and Marion Kramer. So if you're looking for us, we're here. We have information that we're going to share with you over the next hour, but before that happens, we're going to ask Marion, who is the national chairperson of the NWRU Union. We're going to ask Marion to give an official welcome. So Marion, please say good morning to our viewers.
Good morning, and I hope each and every one of you are feeling well, and really grateful that you at least are laying in the bed or walking around and feeling good. Maureen, you're not changing nothing, are you?
No,
Okay.
You might want to read some information.
Yeah, I want to remind you that if you are looking at through your TV, there at the bottom, there's all the numbers that you could call to talk with us. Let's go through it, because I know y'all forget your pencils and papers like I do, and the numbers you will call is 313-868-0343 42 and 313-868-0351 and 313-868-4336. And those of you that are fortunate enough to have a computer and know how to deal with that computer without slapping it, the website is www.tv33whpr.com. Let's go, Mo.
All righty. Tim, there's someone ringing your doorbell. All right. There are a lot of things that are going on across the country, certainly across the state, across the city. And Mary and others, we've been talking about these COVID numbers. It's just crazy. 17,000 new infections over 2 days, averaging. 8 or 9,000 new infections across the state every day. It's just crazy.
And Michigan is still out there leading us.
The number one. Michigan is the number one state in terms of infections of the COVID virus. And we still dealing with Delta, the new virus, the Omicron. We found somebody in Ann Arbor that was visiting someplace else. And the first Michigan person to be tested or testing positive for the new virus has now showed up in Michigan. I think it was about 19 other states, Marion, before Michigan that, already were having people testing positive. But the thing that's interesting is I read this and I saw it on TV, a report in Connecticut. And the health director in Connecticut had identified the last 200 people admitted into hospitals throughout Connecticut, 200 people. And 100% of those 200 now in a hospital in Connecticut, 100% of them had not been vaccinated. None. So, it just begs the question. We talk about this all the time. You have a lot of information, and we're all nervous, we're all afraid, and of course we are. But, data, what's that we used to say, figures don't lie, but lies can figure. Alrighty, and if 100% of all of these folks that are newly at admissions into hospitals throughout Connecticut, if none of them have been vaccinated and they're from serious to on the ventilator already, that should tell you maybe it's worth the gamble, to get these shots and to see if you can make certain while you're getting the shot, you wear your mask and you deal with social distancing. So, it was a lady on TV yesterday. I called Marion about it last night. And she was distraught, rightfully so. Her mom had caught COVID. Her disabled, emotionally disabled, sister. Her sister had contracted COVID. And they both went into the hospital and they both passed away. And this young lady was freely admitting that she didn't believe that the virus was true. She poo-pooed it. She didn't want to take the shots. She didn't. Neither had her mother or her sister. And she also said because she didn't believe in vaccine, she didn't wear a mask. And she was going to meetings and everything telling people that's stupid and wearing a mask and I'm not going to do it and I have rights and I'm an American and all of that. And now how bad she felt because her, people that were that close, her sister and her mom, had passed away. And then the next thing she wanted for viewers to know is that she had a GoFundMe page. And she wanted folks to make a contribution to her grief. And that's when I called my colleague, Marion, and explained why I will not be donating to that. That I'm going to let that one go, right? My goodness, people are just so dense. Now, Marion, we're coming to the end of December, and that means a lot of COVID-related resources are going away. And so already there's a lot of concern about the moratorium on evictions and the kind of problems that people are going to have that were behind on their rent, and what are they able to do now. And Marion, the SARA program is still accepting applications. And SARA is CERA, COVID Emergency Rental Relief Assistance. And that number is area code 313. Don't you write that number down again.
I guess I am.
Give me Marion that number for 7 months. 313 6. Oh no, I'm wrong. 313-322-6222. 322-6222. Now that's the number to Sarah, and Sarah is open for folks to call who are behind on their rent. People United is one, have been approved, and so the folks that were behind on their rent are going to get full assistance, and that's really wonderful. Really is wonderful.
That is a great one.
You know, so a lot of people, you know, I have referred many people over the last 6 or 7 months to the Sarah program, but it looks like by the end of December, they may not be taking as many applications, so people should get involved right now. So then Nikki, one of my cousins, emailed to me, Marion, last week, as a matter of fact, information about a special program for folks outside of Detroit. So if you live in Wayne County, this is a program operated by Wayne County. Detroiters are not able to apply to this one. And this is the one that's called the Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program. And that number is area code 833. That's the area code 833. Caller, hold on, we'll be right with you. 833. Now the number is 742-1513. So this is for folks who need help that are not in Detroit. So any place in Wayne County, and where is it, Marion? 36 or 38 cities in Wayne County, I forgot now. All the rest of them are able to apply to this number for the Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program, area code 833-72, I said it wrong, 742. 1513, 742-1513. And they're doing rent, they're doing lights, gas, water, burial, sewage. You know, some of those folks that live out in Redford Township, they pay a separate sewage bill. And relocation fees if you have to move away because of COVID-related activities. These folks will help you with some of your relocation fees. So, you know, that's really good. Caller, you've been so very patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air.
Grand Rising, ladies.
And Grand Rising, good morning.
Good morning. Linda Wheeler here with the Highland Park News.
Please go right ahead. We need a report. Go on.
The report that I have so far and what's going on is still you can get your booster shots and your vaccinations, your first and second shots, still open at the Ernest T. Ford Fieldhouse in Highland Park. That's on 10 Pinkett. That's Monday and Wednesday, 9 to
No.
I'm sorry.
I memorized that information. Say that again, Miss Wheeler.
Monday and Wednesday, 2 to 8.
All right now.
And Friday and Saturday, 9 to 3.
All right, that was one of my favorite numbers there. I know all of that one. Ms. Wheeler, would you give that information once again about people getting a booster shot or your first or your second or your single Johnson & Johnson shot? When can they go to the Highland Park Rec Center for those injections?
You can get your Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson at the Ernest T. Ford Fieldhouse here in Highland Park, 10 Pinkett. That's Monday and Wednesday, 2 to 8 p.m. Also, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 3 p.m. And children 5 and up are also welcome, encouraged. Please get your shots. Everybody, please be protected. This is real. It's no joke. You just talked about a young lady, Maureen, that didn't believe it, and she infected her sister. And I've heard stories about that as well, too. It's so sad. It's so sad. People wake up.
Yeah, they call some of these folks that go into the hospital really, really sick, and they call them ICU, intensive care unit, converts. So once they get into the hospital and, no, I don't have it, and no, I can't have it, and no, how do I have it, and can I get the shot now? And what's the answer to that? Too late. Too late.
I've been reading a lot about a lot of pastors with large churches that have been against the COVID that are coming down with it and dying.
Oh my
Well,
God.
you know, people have to make up their mind, Miss Linda, that you know you don't know what's in the polio vaccine, and you know a lot of people get. Marion, don't you get a flu shot every year?
That's right.
Miss Linda, do
Every
you get a flu shot?
September.
Yes.
Okay, I never got a flu shot before, never, until 2 years ago when COVID started running through the neighborhood, and I thought I better get every shot I need right now, get them all. I want
right.
to told the pharmacist I need a shot for the measles, for the mumps, for polio, for diphtheria, whooping cough. Give me all of them. He said, I'm going to give you one shot, the flu shot. Here, that's all you going to get. But, yeah, a lot of things we don't, maybe we don't have all the details, but this is a plague. This is yellow fever running through the neighborhoods. And for folks that don't believe me, and then I'm going to ask you to give us the rest of your report, Miss Linda. For folks that don't believe, I think that the COVID virus has a PhD. Just really, really smart. And that the COVID virus, they have Zoom calls and they have discussions across the country. Well, what do we need to do now? Because they're trying to kill us. This is the virus talking. They're trying to kill us and say, well, okay, this is how you change. And you do this and you do that. But if you go to Detroit over at zip code 48208, it's a lot of people that you can still infect if you go to that zip code. And if you live in Madison, Wisconsin, here's the zip code. And if you go there where Native Americans live, you can really infect a lot of people. And I believe that the COVID virus is having that kind of discussion because that's what's going on. We got pockets of communities across the state of Michigan that are absolutely infected with this insidious COVID. And I was telling Marion, one of the largest percentages of people coming down with COVID and dying are on Native American reservations because they have to drive 30 miles to get to the CVS to get a booster shot or your first shot. So, just bad situations,
If they have some people there that are ready to get those shots, they could call into Lansing and get one that truck y'all got.
The mobile truck.
Yeah, and go out there and make sure that those that want to take that shot can take it right there on the reservation, probably.
Right.
All right.
I have to agree with you both that this virus, it has an intelligence. All living organisms have an intelligence.
Yeah.
And this one does. It has an intelligence. It
talking
knows
to
where
each
to
other.
go,
I
how
agree.
to split up, how to transform. So I agree with you. Yeah, it knows where to move, who to move to, and how to move.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, what other pieces of news do we need to know about the goings on in Highland Park?
Well, we're all preparing for holidays, for the Christmas and the Kwanzaa season. I'll have to get some more information about any toy giveaways, but they are happening very soon. So by next week, Friday, I can have more information for toy giveaways and for maybe even turkeys, things like that.
Okay. Okay, Miss Linda, let me ask you a question right quick before you leave. I was talking to Marion the other day about some housing crises, situations I'm dealing with some of the parents at my school. And I know at one time you were very, very involved with housing activities in terms of having addresses where folks who are looking for rental property or purchases might be able to contact the group that you were working with. Do you have any information? I've got two parents. One got burned out about 3 days ago at my school. Everybody's safe, but the house is a complete disaster. And I'm just wondering if I wanted to refer this family to anybody in Highland Park, does such a program still exist where you all have knowledge of properties able to be rented and or purchased? Anything there?
Unfortunately, at this time, there aren't any openings as well. I was a member and still an active member of the Housing Commission.
Yes.
I will then do some networking for you. And let me get back with you, please, Maureen.
That would be
so
very
that
helpful.
I can have some information. But you said there's 2 families, and so it's very tight here in Highland Park for housing as well. There's a lot of housing, but they need to be they need to be fixed. The housing,
Yeah.
and it's all about the funds, the money, the state,
Always.
the city, But please, I will do some investigation and get back with you as soon as I can.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wheeler, for the Grand Rising report. Marion, you have any questions?
Well, we might
have to sit up,
We might
Marion.
have to hit the street ride around one day this week.
Okay.
You and I, and look for those houses.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Wheeler, for, as always, update information on boosting and firsting and seconding shots. And we need all of that. Thank you, ma'am. We will catch up with you later. Thank you.
Love you both.
Love you back.
too, boo.
All right. So, the one of the families that I was saying, we got 2 families that I'm working with. One of them, the house caught fire, and the fire was an electrical fire behind the wall. So here's a house that's been there for a while,
Yes,
and
it did. Wow.
wires are frayed, and you know how this happens. But we hear about that from time to time. A house somewhere caught fire, and then by the time the fire department gets there, and whatever, they don't water to death, they axe to death. AXE. So
That's right.
if it's a bad fire, that means the roof, the first floor, and the second floor and the first floor are damaged and probably ruined beyond repair. But this was another electrical fire. The mom and the kids all got out, but she did explain to me she had to throw 2 of them out the window for the other 2 to catch because she couldn't get them. So. That's what's
a
going
mom,
on.
girl.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. 868-4336, 868-0351, or 868-0342. All right, now yesterday, Marion, I had an experience.
You have an experience every day.
I do, and I don't have to look for adventures. Adventures find me. So yesterday I had an occasion to be involved. Again, there's another parent. This man lives in a neighborhood where he has a Section 8 certificate. Okay. And the Section 8 program is supposed to have rules and regulations. Houses, properties, that means individual single homes and or apartments and or townhouses and duplexes, whatever the rental unit is, they're supposed to be up to date in terms of safety.
Yeah,
And some of the other things, you can't have paint chipping off by the windows, because the kids might eat it. So there are rules. You have to keep
They
the
must
properties
get
up to a
inspected,
snuff.
every year.
You and I have knowledge of the fact that's kind of changed. And
they probably act like they doing it when.
ladies and gentlemen, Marion really loves these ergonomic chairs, and once she sits in it and relaxes, she forgets
something's in
that
my eye.
sometimes she has to move forward to talk. Yeah,
Each year when we were trying to get people into some of these houses, we knew that there's supposed to be the HUD and all of them supposed to inspect once a year. I mean, each year, not once a year. Each year to make those homes to make sure that everything is up to par. We haven't heard nothing, And I know when you don't hear something, I get kind of messed up on that and say something's wrong.
Well, let me remind you of something that we heard together, and this was quite a surprise because I didn't know there was such a thing. And that's when we were over to Sylvia's job, and we found out that there's something called a virtual inspection. And remember, we said, a what? A virtual inspection.
Even the judge had to,
What does that mean?
the judge had to laugh.
A virtual inspection means that a camera is made available to the tenant. And where's your phone? Hold on. Let's never mind. Let's enact this. Here is the inspector's cell phone. Act like it is. and the inspector sends a message, a code to the tenant, and the tenant now holds the phone up in front of the pipe, in front of the toilet, in front of the roof, in front of the floor.
But it was like that.
And I never heard of anything called a virtual inspection.
Remember the young lady.
So hold on, caller, coming right to
the
you.
young lady that we were representing never even received any information on that, and it was shocking to us that they have never went out to.
Didn't inspect.
That's right.
Caller, you've been so very patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling. You are on the air, caller.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
lady.
Go ahead.
Just was calling in to comment where you all were talking about. A lot of us have to just do our due diligence, and some of us don't know, and you learn by error. But you have to make sure that wherever you're moving into, has working appliances and working outlets the way they're supposed to. And a lot of people will accept, well, we're working on that, or that'll be fixed. And, you going through situations where you need to move and you expect people to do stuff. And for whatever reason, I don't want to call them slumlords, but people don't take
That's what they are.
priority of doing what you're supposed to. As soon as you give them the money, that timeline gets longer and longer. Oh, well, we're going to get fixed next week, and 2-3 months down the road, they'll still isn't fixed.
Very
I also
true.
wanted to call in and say, we're going through a lot right now, holidays. Everybody is not as well as you might think they are. So just try to be kind to one another. If it's someone that might need advice, try to give it to them. But let's all try to wrap our arms around one another. We got something going on with high schoolers in Michigan. It's now, for the first time, we had a nationalized school shooting that happened here.
Yes.
It happens a lot, but we had one that was on the national news in Michigan. So let's all
that's
try
the
to
kind of news
hug
we
one
don't
another,
want,
because these
too.
young people are upset.
Caller,
Yes, indeed.
your words are full of wisdom. Thank you for sharing those moments and whatnot. And you're right. We need to do better to care for one another and put our arms around each other and forgive each other for slights that may be said or may be done. So very wise, very smart.
It's better to get upset and, it may not be right,
to get
but you can
upset.
cuss the person out. They'll live from that.
Okay.
People get upset with each other in the store, and then they want to go see with each other in the parking lot. There's nothing wrong with telling the person how
Man,
you
you
feel
wanna wear a mask on
and,
site.
letting it go.
Yeah. Very well said, sir. Very well said. Thank
All right,
you
now.
again
Thank you
for
for
your
your
words of
wisdom.
wisdom. And send me a message later on today so I can find you, okay?
I'm on vacation.
I knew that.
And thank you very much, caller. I'll check in with you later. Bye.
Right.
Bye, and thank you.
All right, that's good old Navarre. Okay, so based off of what he was saying, the first time we've had this kind of a circumstance up in Oxford, Michigan, which is not all that far from Detroit, and the whole drama that's playing out. And I mentioned it to you yesterday about D.L. Hughley. And D.L. is
He's been-
all on
yes.
top of this, talking about the same people who train their kids to do guns and love guns and all this kind of stuff are the same folks that go to PTA meetings and rail about not wearing a mask and get on airplanes and fight the flight attendants because they're asked to put a mask on. And that is this whole, they use the word malaise, this whole bad, sad feeling that's going on across the country. I was looking at this guy, the 11th hour, Brian Williams. Yesterday was his last day of broadcasting after 28 years. And he left the air, MSNBC. And he left the air talking about in all of the years that he'd been broadcasting, the last 28 and the 28 before that, he said he's never seen the country in this kind of situation where we are absolutely divided. And it's more than a division. If I have an opinion different from yours, that means we must. See, it used to be maybe I have an opinion that's different from yours and we just have difference of opinions. Mm-hmm. But he started talking about the level of violence and the level of anger. And now we got elected officials calling each other Muslim terrorists. And some of the conversations that are going on. And, I think that's what the caller was mentioning across the country. There's this feeling of anger, matter. And this 15-year-old that's in jail, I've heard people, Marion, he was in Children's Village. This is the Oxford situation. Mm-hmm. He was in Children's Village, place for runaway kids, dysfunctional kids, bad kids, Children's Village. Parents can't do nothing with them. Send them to a Children's Village to get them some teaching and training on how to be better young people. And this is where he was at first. And then after the court case got started, somebody had the idea, well, maybe there were reasons. Let's take him away from Children's Village and let's move him to the adult prison. And remember, I called you about that. He's still 15. What he did was terrible. But why you gonna take him to where there are adult men?
That's what they're doing.
And he's in isolation. Then Navarre brought that up later on. The United Nations passed some laws and regulations. You can't put no minor in total isolation 23 hours a day. You can't do that to a kid, because what it does is scar them psychologically. But, the redemption phase and the let's do better phase is gone. What we got now is let's punish them phase. And even if they're 15 years of age, it makes me think about Nathaniel Abraham. We'll take this call. Caller, you're very patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air.
Good morning.
And good morning.
How are y'all?
We all's fine. How's y'all's?
Oh, doing good. Listen, go back to the 60s. You remember when welfare started out in the 60s? I started out at Dodge, Maine. And you remember how welfare used to be back in the days?
Yes.
When all the things that we went through. Look how everything had changed all the way up to here in 2120. But the main thing I called to say to y'all about is that Revelation is talking. The 7 sevens are talking. The 7 plagues, 7 angels, seven angels, 7 trumpets. In every level of violence, every level of disease, and the influences of the pagan white culture is talking, and the influences of everything. The violent games that they play and they use, and how they're being influenced. Look how Trump and it brought it to a head, and God has brought us to our knees. I talked about this a long time ago, but here on this same station. But here's the same thing. What I want to say about the two of you. There's a word called NABA. It's called NABA, I believe. You are the great news. You always are doing something good. That means the great news. I ask Allah to always bless the two of you. And that's all I have to say. Just know that we have to be very careful. God this time is separating the good from the evil. And it is not like a long time ago when Noah came and took us off. Now you're going to experience everything that you planted, all these bad seeds. I'm going off air to say that I love you. And Naba, always be the great news that you are. You are a mother of the earth. And one other thing, you are the Queen Nubius of Nubia. You ruled for several centuries in the AD. That Black Panther movie they put out don't even come close to who you are. God bless you.
Thank you,
Thank you
caller.
very much.
Thank you for your warm and your nice words. We appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I tell you, these days it's hard to feel like good news. This has been about one of the worst years. You know, usually, we're scrambling, try to see what we need to do to add a few more pieces of good work to the end of the year. And here lately, Marion, by the time we get to the middle and the end of December, I'll be ready for it to go. Let's start a new year. These last 21 months
You sure
with
do.
COVID, man, this has been the absolute
It's been
worst.
rough.
You know,
Never had nothing like that.
nobody has ever seen anything like this. None of us have ever been through anything like this. And as the caller just indicated, President number 45
Please.
added some hate and some violence
And he's
and
still
some
doing it.
racism and
He's
some
Still doing it.
immorality. Just added some stuff that nobody had ever seen before. And it brings up that other argument, Marion, and please comment. Why does it take the Democratic Party so long to figure out
Please.
what to do?
Please.
Why?
Maureen, they don't have to face what we have to face. And they figure once they become, they're elected into a so-called position that gives them the right to do, what you said. They don't have to do that. They always, and if you think back,
Just a moment, caller.
if you think back, a lot of time when you talk to politicians, the first thing, and you ask them, why are you not doing this about this? They want to turn it on the community. Why are you not doing it? You need to get out there. No. We elected you to bring that to us.
Yeah.
And they're still doing that. All they're concerned about is a lot of them. That's not all of them. A lot of them is
Being reelected.
being reelected, and how my family is surviving much better now than what they used to, because now I have a position.
And resources, that's what they're talking about. Caller, you've been very patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you're on the air.
Happy Friday.
And happy Friday to you.
Hey, I just want your listening audience to know they're giving away a Coach for Children tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon at the Bel Air Theater.
9 to
Or 8
noon.
Mile.
Bel Air Drive-In.
Yeah, the Bel Air.
Yeah, I know where
They
that
give
On 8 Mile.
for children, Coach for Children, and that's from 9 a.m. to 12.
Okay, don't you have to register first?
Oh, they just said until they're gone, because they give out the 700 to 1,000 coats.
Okay, I saw that on TV the other day, and
okay.
yeah, no, that's a good tip because I had forgotten to mention it, and I'm glad you brought it up. Tomorrow is Saturday. We're talking about December the 11th from 9 o'clock until noon. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, from 9 to noon at the Bel Air Drive-In Center. That's right there off. It's on 8 Mile Road.
Right.
Okay.
Probably next to Van Dyke. Also in the city of Detroit, we're doing a lot of, I've noticed all the city public announcements are bragging on these public-private projects.
Partnerships.
Yes, partnerships. And they're only going to come up with like maybe 34 affordable units, and the rest is going to be retail and commercial,
Talking about
or
new
it's going to
housing
be an
development.
industrial use,
Ain't that a-
and you may get up to 300 jobs after the constructions have been done.
Yeah.
What about the question of,
And that's years to come, so by then we don't know what they're going to really do.
you get that right?
Yeah, and the reason for that is we are never on the in the committee to decide where the housing development should be and how many apartments or townhouses should be made available to each group. So, we're always waiting for them to tell us.
And by the time they get to the people that we have gotten the information out, they have the opportunity to get none of those houses.
Exactly. And also,
you know it's
gotta
politics.
consider the weak community agreements that's supposed to come along with all these developers that care about these poor black neighborhoods.
Yeah, well, the community benefits once it failed in Detroit and people didn't come out and, talk about the importance of a community benefit approach. We still in the lurch. So, somebody else has to tell you later on, this is what we decided that you need.
Well, this is how the federal government does.
People like Scott Vincent, they're giving accolades to people like Scott Vincent and Fred Durhal. And we already know what those two are about. They're just some elite bootlegs that's going to look the other way while these developers come in to take over everything.
One thing, with the government, and particularly in D.C., if you're looking for programs like that and everything, and you know that the city of Detroit, watch out Highland Park too, they will say, well, just send us a letter or something like that. We're gonna probably put you on, try to see if you will be able to get on the list. And once as the program seemed like it's going on and on, then they come back to Maureen, who has tried to get on the list, and you wrote a letter, tell them how many children you have and how it would be nice, and then they turn around and say, well, madam, we tried to get you, but we decided to go with the people that were already signed in and what have you. Didn't tell you nothing in the beginning.
Exactly. You get the news. You get the tail end of all the resources.
That's right.
Yes, so true. Carla, did you get that information? Did you hear about the Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance Program already?
The one that they help Highland Park and all the other counties?
Yes.
Yeah, you gave me that last week.
Okay.
I wrote that down as well.
Okay.
I appreciate you too. Lovely souls.
All righty. And one more piece of information, because I know you're out and about all the time.
Yeah.
The Taylor Housing Commission has opened up their wait list for Section 8.
That's good.
Taylor, Michigan. Yeah, you have to go online. You can't come to the office and you can't call them. So you have to go online to apply for a spot on the Section 8 wait list in Taylor. All right.
Ladies. Y'all great.
All right. Safe weekend and safe holidays to you, okay?
Oh, yeah. Keep your mask on, please.
Keep your mask on. That's right. All right, caller. Thank you. All right. 868-4336, 868-0351, or 868-0342. It was something else I was going to tell you, and I did not write it down. I remember. One of the facets, one of the components, the episodes that happen as you get older is that the body starts to change in terms of tolerance and things that, why is my nose keep itching? I took my allergy medication.
You didn't take enough.
No, I took the same thing every day. I was a person able to eat hot sauce. And, I have chicken and I put hot sauce on it and I fix my own chili. And you remember Ron Allen, the poet Ron Allen? Boy, me and Ron used to do chili cook-offs. And my eyes water now just thinking about it, because that Ron was able to find jalapeno peppers, and it's another one that Dwight uses, that little red pepper that's hotter than a jalapeno. I didn't think anything on earth was hotter than a jalapeno pepper, but that little red thing, and he sliced just the thinnest slice, and I put my tongue on it.
Before you get to your
Oh
tongue.
my God! No, once I put it on my tongue, my toes started to hurt. It just shot through my whole body. But me and Ryan used to have these cook-offs, and I ate hot. And I loved hot chili with the beans and the, oh man, oh my God, so good. And here over the last year or so, I noticed that if I put hot sauce in my meatloaf or hot sauce in my chili, or get the chicken and put some hot sauce on there. After about 2 or 3 mouthfuls, I'm doing this. I got to grab my chest because I'm having heartburn. And I didn't think about it right away. And it was my sister who said both of us grew up on the east side eating all kinds of vegetables. We eat oranges, tomatoes, cucumbers, slice them, sit out on the porch, and that's all we eat all day. We didn't know anything about suckers and stuff like that. Mama said, you want a snack? Go in there, and it's a tomato, slice it, go in there, get you an orange, go get you an onion, get you some cucumbers, some grapes, get all of it, and go out on the porch and eat whatever you want, right? Eat all those things. So I noticed, and she's the one that called to tell me that she can't eat tomatoes anymore. So I'm asking her, what are you talking about? She says every time she eats a tomato, I guess it's the acidic nature of the tomato, that it gets caught in the bottom of her throat, and it causes heartburn. And I'm noticing the same thing again, Mary, and it makes me cry. Rice. I love rice. I must be a Geechee. There's nothing about rice that I don't like. Yes. And I noticed lately over the last couple of months, I'm eating rice. I had a cup of chicken noodle soup today, and I put a large tablespoon of rice down in there and mix it up. That's some good eating. I got that from Nida. And when I had the time and the energy, I would cut up some broccoli and steam it right quick and throw that in there. So broccoli and chicken noodle soup and a couple of 2-3 teaspoons or tablespoons of rice. Mix it up and put it in the microwave. Good eating. But when I eat rice now and I can't get it in my mouth fast enough, it stops right here. And I'm grabbing my chest and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on? And I'm noticing that never was an issue. Yeah, that never was an issue. And those old wives' tales that I used to criticize you and your mom on, oh, that's just some mess y'all talking. No, when the weather gets bad and it's raining and it gets cold, your bones start to feel different. Oh, that's just the old wives' tale. Let me tell you about my right knee. And all I could think of is hearing all the times I chided people about that stuff ain't true. It gets cold, and if it's humid and cold, I noticed that after I fell, this right knee is much more sensitive to certain weather condition changes, and I swore that wasn't true. I was wrong.
Oh, you want to apologize?
I was wrong. I ain't apologizing. I'm just saying I was wrong.
I knew that.
And I did not know, and I know now that some of those things are very, very true. And there's got to be a scientific reason for why when the weather changes and it's almost always cold and wet or cold and wet together, why that should make a difference if a person is suffering with arthritis or any of those kinds of things. Why would that be different? I'm noticing because I've got the heat on in the house now because it's cold. And my hands are dry.
That's right.
And is this a manifestation of getting older, or what is? You have to keep putting moisturizer.
That you have to carry that lotion around with you everywhere, because your hands be so dry until you be sitting up to. Oh, it's
scratching.
Not only dry, but it's itchy and everything else. You know?
So those are some things that I noticed, and here I was in CVS the other day, and they had something. I started to bring it so you could look at it, and it says for hands and skin that are ultra dry. You live in Detroit. The heat is on. It don't say all that, but that's what I was reading into it. All of these things that are happening, and you have to be careful. And this is it's a really good lotion. Stays on your hands.
What's
pretty
the name
good.
of it?
CVS lotion. And it's probably got something else on there. I'll remember to bring it next week. But I thought about it because, all my aunts and uncles are gone now. It makes me tear up.
You mean we don't have no more?
They're all gone.
We don't have no more of that lotion?
That's what I'm getting ready to talk about. My Uncle Tommy, who was all of my uncles were soldiers. And he's the one that introduced me to that hand cream.
All of us.
That great big jar. About this big and no odor, no scent.
Real
and
good, feel good.
it is a emollient. So it is a lotion that you could put on the back of your hands, front of your hands. Guess you could put it on your face, I don't know. But it keeps your skin plush and it keeps it moist. And, out of the jar, how long I've had that jar? 10 years?
More than that.
You know, maybe at least 10 years and more. And you just need a little bit of it. And you put it on the back of your hands, on the back of
You feel so much
your
better.
oh my goodness, you can feel it going into your pores. And if you put it on the front of your hands, you usually have to take a towel and kind of wipe your hands off because at first it feels greasy. But it lasts 8 or 9 hours
I know.
on the back of your hands. I gave you a bottle full of it.
Yeah, and an old uncle was pretty good in giving us some of that stuff.
Yeah, and I want to say Early Jones.
Early.
That was in the
I remember early.
what is it? The senior task force.
Yeah.
And but I'm saying Early Jones because that's not the right name. But Early and his wife, and then they've got that
Miss
Jones.
Jones.
But that's not who I'm talking about. Well, maybe it is. She's got a daughter, an adult daughter. I ain't talking about the one that's impaired. She's got an adult daughter who was married to a soldier, and the soldier passed away. You remember that? Okay, I can't, and I don't remember the daughter's name and the husband. The husband passed away, but he was always going to, as soon as I started to feel better, he was going to the PX, the shopping center out at Mount Clemens, because he was a soldier, and he was going to go get us some of that.
This?
Early Jones' wife, and Early Jones and his wife had an adult daughter.
Okay,
That's who I'm talking about,
okay,
right?
you're talking about the daughter.
The daughter, and she was married to this young man. I can't remember. I got it at Welfare Rice, but he was going to. I can look it up. I got it in the file, but he was going to go out to the PX. And Joe Green was always I'm gonna go out to the PX out there in Mount Clemens, and never went. I'm gonna go next week.
And we would forget.
We for 3 or 4 months we don't remember, but they had that same cream out there, and I wonder. I've had that jar for so long, and it's probably about an inch worth of that lotion still in there. And I wonder if it's got any writing on the outside of it anymore. I've had it for so long, it may not even have any more writing on it. But I sure need to go and look at it and see what is the name of it. Well, we don't know what to ask for when we get there.
Well, we got to find out somebody that's...
And you have to be a soldier, don't you?
That's right.
Don't you have to be a soldier to go to that PX in Mount Clemens?
Yeah, I don't know what the new stuff
Marion,
is.
are you sitting back in that chair so people can't hear you? Now you rocking.
No,
Boy, it really got
it
bad.
feels so good when you sit in this chair and you can go back like that.
But I can't. I think you have to be a soldier to shop
Well,
there.
we can find out. Yeah, you need a soldier with you.
So you have to have a soldier. Yeah, but we don't know what to ask for. But that lotion,
we say just
lasts 7 to 8 hours.
You ask for the area where the good lotion is.
Well, and they done gave you some what they think is good lotion. It'd be any old kind of lotion, But all right, just kind of taking this trip down memory lane as we get closer to the end of the year, and got a call from a very close friend of mine, Mohammed Okdi, who has been retired for a while now, social worker at DMC. And he calls me from time to time to update me, see how I'm doing, tell me how he's doing. He's fine. And he sends condolences to one of our best friends, Richard Hairston. And Mohammed asked the other day, what's happening with Richard? Richard's still recovering and still doing therapy and all kind of other things. And I had talked to Richard's wife, Miss Elizabeth, last week.
Oh, how's she doing?
And she's doing well. We were all together. That would have been January of 2020 when we got that Jesse Jackson Award, and we were all down at the Fox Theater. Remember that? And Miss Elizabeth and Richard came, and just wanted to bring. Happy. Oh, he was so happy, and we was happy to see him. You know, I talked to Agnes a couple of weeks ago,
How's she doing?
and Agnes has got a bad attitude.
What
Agnes says she tired of this mess going on, and she wants something to happen. So Agnes is ready for call them out for rebirth. And she want welfare rights to do some rebirth. I told her, okay, we got to work on these knees. And she want to start going out in the streets and doing something about this $600 million that's been taken from property owners. So all kinds of things are happening, and we're down to our last 30 seconds. But, you know, all the folks whose lives have affected us, and we've been involved, and Richard, Miss Elizabeth, Agnes,
and
Miss Eastside,
and
all of these different folks. So
then we have
talk fast now, because we're at the end.
We asking folks to pray for our friend Brenda in New Orleans, but and she's been sick a long time. But this woman was dynamic out here and organizing in New Orleans. So, you know, if you can.
Yeah, prayers for everybody who's not feeling well.
That's not feeling well.
All right, Marion, you have 20 seconds to say goodbye. You want to say something about the Truth Commission?
Lord have mercy.
I'll say it.
Go on.
You could just say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, here comes our engineer.
I'll see you next week.
Okay. All right. The year is already bad enough. It's gonna be worse if you start singing. So RJ and them gonna kick us right off the air if that's what's gonna happen.
Oh no.
Oh Lord, you know. All right. So Truth Commission is tonight. If you have access to a computer, go to www. National Welfare Rights Union, National Welfare Rights Union / Truth Commission. Press enter, and then all the information you need to try to connect to it will come up. The YouTube, what's the other one? Facebook. There's an internet address where you could go on, and there is a program tonight from 7 until 9 that talks that features testimonies from people who have lost their children because they're poor, and the welfare department is taking the kids out of the household because they're poor. All right, other than that, you've got the number to Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance, 833-742-1513. Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Marion and I will be back next week, and we have a guest that will be coming to join us next Friday, and that'll be the very honorable treasurer, Mr. Eric Sabri, is going to be our guest next Friday. So join us. Like Marion and I say at the end of every broadcast, be safe, be careful, slow down those cars, wear that mask. Please go get your vaccine. Please go get your shot. And goodbye. We'll see you next Friday.
Yes.
There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.